What is going on, everybody? It is Fitness the Boss bringing another episode of Go Battle League Struggles, and in today's video I'm going to be displaying a showcase for a Shadow Mamoswine that I decided to run in the the Master League Classic a couple of days ago, just to see how well it worked. Now, this is a very expensive Pokemon to build. It really cost me over 370,000 Stardust in order to build this Mamoswine, including maxing it out and putting a second move, and it cost me a lot of rare candy as well. So we're going to go ahead and see how good it is in the Open Master League. I got it paired here with a Kyogre running Surf and Blizzard, and Dialga running Dragon Breath and Draco Meteor. So first things first, we have this Kyogre going into the Dialga, and I don't want to say foolishly staying in, but I'm going to go ahead and stay in, thinking that they're going to throw an Iron Head. The opponent hits me with a Thunder, and that was a very unfortunate part on my end, but it's not too much of a problem. We can go ahead and try our best to flip this match, and I'm going to go ahead and shield up the Iron Head right here. Funny thing about this match, I run into something similar later on down the line and make a mistake that really cost me, but right here we're gonna go ahead and get the Iron Head off. The opponent has no choice but to shield, and I farmed up a little bit more energy, was able to get this last Iron Head off before the charm registered, swap into my Shadow Mamoswine, start getting ahead on energy. The opponent made what would have been a phenomenal catch had they not just caught onto a Giratina Origin. So I go ahead and farm down the Giratina, get to another Avalanche, and this Avalanche is going to 1000% wreck this Togekiss. So that's going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. They had me at the beginning, but the mid battle there, the mid game there, I was able to go ahead and completely flip things with those two Iron Heads onto the Togekiss. So we move into the second battle. Kyogre into Groudon, a Dragon Tail variant as well, so it's not going to build up energy nearly as fast. This is a very winnable matchup for Kyogre. Just gonna go ahead and let them put the Fire Punch through. It's gonna completely waterfall down. Up to 2 Surfs and a Blizzard now. They come in with their Dialga. I'm assuming that they're gonna shield this here, but I do hit it with a Blizzard, and gonna go ahead and let the Kyogre go down, bring in my Dialga, completely farm down the opponent Dialga. They see no point in continuing the matchup, so the opponent does surrender. Good game to them, very well played. We move here into the next battle. Didn't really get too much of an opportunity to showcase the Shadow Mamoswine there. Alright, so next battle we have Kyogre into Mewtwo. So this is a little bit of a tricky matchup for me, especially with Kyogre. No matter which way I'm running it. I know that by time Kyogre gets to 1 Surf, Mewtwo can get up to a Side Strike and a half. Get a little bit of lag there. Opponent switches into their Dialga, and I go ahead and farm up to get to the Blizzard, throw the Blizzard. The opponent did block. Now I'm going to swap into my own Dialga, and I'm assuming that they're going to throw the Draco Meteor here, so I do shield, and it was a good call. The opponent did throw the Draco Meteor. Now these Dragon Breaths that the opponent are throwing aren't doing nearly as much, so I go ahead and try to completely farm down. They get to another Iron Head, and I burn my last shield, so farm down the Dialga, the opponent Dialga, and they come in with an Excadrill. So this isn't the greatest thing in the world for me, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the Iron Head, get the last shield, and now I'm going to go ahead and throw the Draco Meteor. This is definitely going to get the Excadrill low. Opponent comes in with their own Mewtwo, and they completely farm down the Dialga, which wouldn't have happened had Dialga not had been debuffed because of the Draco Meteor. Opponent throws the Side Strike into my Kyogre, and I come in with my Shadow Mamoswine. Shadow Mamoswine is going to unfortunately eat that Side Strike. Come in 1 Mud Shot, and then they're able to get to a Drill Run, so that's going to take out the super thin Shadow Mamoswine. So that was a loss on my end. Good game to my opponent. Just some misplays there that could have swung the results of this battle. So Alright, so next we have Kyogre into Giratina Origin. It's not the greatest matchup, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into my Mamoswine. They're going to swap into their Togekiss, so I'm going to go ahead and get up to this Avalanche. The opponent is going to block the Avalanche, but this Powder Snow is so spammy, it gets you to your attack so quick. So I get to a second, and now the opponent went on ahead and let the Togekiss go down. So now that I know that Togekiss is out of the way, I bring in Kyogre, knowing that Kyogre can take at least one side strike from this range. So it's really not too big of an issue. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the Surf here. The Surf is either going to take it out or get the last shield, which I was able to successfully do. And I'm going to get up to another Surf, and then they're going to bring in their Giratina Origin trying to catch the Surf. So I'm going to bring in my Dialga. I'm going to shield the first attack thinking that it's a Shadow Ball. It was just an ominous wind bait, so that's unfortunate. And then I build back up thinking it could be another Shadow Ball. And I wasn't sure if Shadow Ball would take Dialga out at this range, so I tried to go for the Draco Meteor, didn't need it. I could have went for the Iron Head, but the opponent comes in with their Mewtwo. They throw the Focus Blast, but because I had banked the Surf on my Kyogre go ahead and throw the Surf. That's going to take out the Mewtwo. So that's a good game. Very well played to my opponent. Super close battle. If they would have caught the Surf on their Giratina, I probably would have lost that battle for sure. Alright, so moving into the next battle, we have Mewtwo on the lead against Kyogre. Well, Kyogre in the lead against Mewtwo, so I'm going to go ahead and let this side strike go through. It's going to hit for a ton of damage, and then they bring in their Dialga. I bring in my own Dialga, and unfortunately my opponent ran into a little bit of lag there, so they should have been a lot more ahead on energy than I was, and probably should have even had me down in lower energy than where I was at. So that's really unfortunate, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to go ahead and get off this Iron Head. The Iron Head does connect. Going to throw this next Iron Head to the Mewtwo that they just brought back in. Let's see. And I do get a shield off of the opponent, and they're just going to keep farming up quite a bit. Now, I know that they're out of Side Strike, so it wouldn't make sense to throw anything else. I do let the Dialga go, and I bring in my Kyogre, but they're going to be energy drained after this, so I just go ahead and let it go. They swap into the Yveltal, and I bring in my Shadow Mamoswine, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this Avalanche here. I should be able to outpace it to every single move, and it with a Dark Pulse should not hit hard enough to be able to beat me. So, but I'm not going to take any chances. They go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse. I get to the Avalanche. I'm going to go ahead and take out the Yveltal right here. And then they should bring in the Mewtwo, and I can just Powder Snow it down. But the opponent does surrender, so good game to them. Very well played. So, you know, Shadow Mamoswine is really earning its bacon so far in these sets. I believe this is a similar battle. It's not the same as the first one, and you guys are going to see. So, the opponent comes in with Dialga. I come in with my Kyogre, and just like in the first battle, they hit me with Thunder. So what I do, I bring in my Dialga, and I start farming up. Knowing that I'm going for a complete farm down, I'm going to go ahead and give the shield up right here. I get the farm down on the opponent Dialga, but the mistake that I make right here is I immediately throw the Iron Head, and their Togekiss registered a charm through. So by the time I get to the next Iron Head, I'm already charmed down, and there's really not too much I can do in that instance. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this Avalanche, which they're going to safely shield, and opponent's going to throw the Ancient Power right here. I have to block it, but it's pretty academic at this point. There's really nothing I can do in order to win, and just as sure with the first battle, they come in with a Giratina Origin, and that's lost. So it was the same battle. I just played it I just played it pretty poor there. I should have just kept farming up energy like I did the first time. So, alright, so the next battle I have a Kyogre into a Mamoswine. They swap into Yveltal. I swap into my own Shadow Mamoswine. So, getting enough energy in order to throw the Avalanche, and they're going to go ahead and throw a Dark Pulse. I just let it go, barely survive it. The Shadow Mamoswine is so thin, it can almost take no attacks, so they snarl down, unfortunately, and I think I'm going to come back in with the Kyogre here. Yes, come in with the Kyogre. I'm going to get hit with a Dark Pulse, but I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I can't immediately sacrifice shields knowing that I'm good. Kyogre is going to be the win condition against the Mamoswine. So, all right. So they're down on shields. I bring in my Dialga, farm it down, and of course they come in with a Melmetal. There's really not a whole ton of anything that I can do. So I'm just going to go ahead and hope that they throw a superpower. Unfortunately, they didn't. So I'm just going to farm up a little bit more, and I'm going to hit this with a Iron Head. Sorry, it's doing some lawn work in the background, so you probably hear the blowers going off. But I take out the Mamoswine, and the opponent comes in with the Melmetal. So they throw their first attack. I go ahead and get off the Draco Meteor. It was unshielded, and I was able to completely waterfall down the opponent Melmetal, so that's going to be a good battle. Alright, moving into the next battle, we have Kyogre into Togekiss, so not a bad matchup at all. I'm going to go ahead and start getting ahead on energy, and they swap into their Dialga. The mistake that I made here is I should have swapped into my Dialga when I seen that they swapped into theirs. When I throw the Blizzard, was able to connect the Blizzard onto the Dialga. Alright, so next I'm going to go ahead and bring in Dialga. What I should have done is I should have brought in Mamoswine, because the opponent brings in a Groudon, and now I bring in my Mamoswine too late. The Mamoswine is behind on energy, and they get a Fire Punch off, and this thing is doing the work of God on my Mamoswine. So I'm going to go ahead and try to hit it with an Avalanche, and unfortunately I'm not able to get to it. They swap to their Togekiss. Again, this battle is pretty academic at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and shield whatever they're going to throw. The Aerial Ace, it wouldn't have really mattered anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and try to get this Iron Head off, which connects. But here's the disadvantage I'm at. A Mud Shot Groudon versus my Dialga, and they're able to get to Fire Punch with only 5 Mud Shots, so they connect on that, and they throw the second Fire Punch. They could Mud Shot me down if they wanted to. I don't have enough energy to Dragon Breath this thing down, so I'm going to go ahead and hope that they're just going to be careless, which they're not. They're a previous legend, so they're very aware of what's going on. They block the Iron Head, and they go ahead and just throw the Fire Punch here. So that's going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. I completely messed that battle up when I didn't bring in Mamoswine as opposed to bringing in Dialga. But you never know these things, so it's not that big of a deal. So go with Mamoswine into Kyogre. They swap into their Melmetal, start getting ahead on energy. There's really nothing else that I can bring in that's going to make this matchup any better for me, so I'm just going to stay in with my Kyogre here. And opponent gets to their second Rock Slide, so gotta let it go. At this point, they can probably Thunder Shock down if they want to, but not without taking a couple of Surfs. So throw the first Surf. The opponent's going to get to... No, they're not going to get to any other move. I go ahead and farm down, and then they bring in their Giratina Origin, so I just go ahead and throw a Surf, get a little bit of chip damage, and then I'm going to come in with my Shadow Mamoswine. So they bait with an Ominous Wind. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do there, but I'm so ahead on energy that I can go ahead and get these back-to-back avalanches off. So first one's going to take the shield from the opponent, and this I would assume is going to take the second shield from the opponent. It does. So when they throw their avalanche, I'm just going to let it go. There's really nothing that I need to hold on to this for. I probably could have held on to it and then just tried to farm up as much as I could. So I'm going to bring in Dialga right now and start getting ahead on energy. I don't know what I was doing. I was hoping to try to catch an avalanche there. Opponent's going to go ahead and throw the avalanche, and they have a second avalanche already stored away. Dialga should be able to take this well enough, and then they're going to come in with their Giratina. Going to hit this thing with the Iron Head and get enough farm to take it out. They come in with their Mamoswine, and Dialga takes it out. So, good game to them. They're very well played. I almost cost myself that battle trying to make a sack swap on Kyogre. So, alright. So, moving to the next battle, we have Excadrill and Kyogre. This is a beautiful matchup. They bring in their Giratina altered. So, I go ahead and throw in my Mamoswine. And Giratina altered isn't the hitter that Giratina Origin is, but it's a lot spammier, so it's going to get to these Dragon Claws super quick. So I need to make quick work of this thing. They get to another Dragon Claw, so I'm going to go ahead and shield right here and just expect them to farm me down. And I get to the Avalanche, and this should be either taking it out or getting the last shield. Get the last shield, and the opponent's trying to go for an aggressive farm down, but Powder Snow does work, and it allows me to get to another Avalanche, which takes out the Giratina Origin, and now the opponent comes in with their Excadrill. I'm going to come in with my Kyogre, then they swap to Dialga, so I mirror that and swap to my Dialga. And then they're going to throw the Iron Head, I assume, here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this and throw my own Iron Head. I don't think this is going to take out the opponent Dialga. It doesn't, but I should be able to farm down and get pretty close to another Iron Head before they can get to a drill run. So going to go ahead and hit this thing with the Iron Head. Now, the opponent knows that one drill run is not going to be enough to take out Kyogre, so they go ahead and try to build up to 2 drill runs, but it's not going to save them. I just go ahead and throw this Surf, and that's going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. So in my first set of battles, I went 4-1. In my second set of battles, I went 2-3, I believe it was. So a 6-4 set altogether, showcasing the Shadow Mamoswine. Again, as long as it's coupled with the right Pokemon that could, potentially cover it, it's not a bad Pokemon to run. Like future references, I may run Dialga with Thunder as opposed to Draco Meteor just because of the Melmetal coverage you can get from it, but outside of that, this is a super solid Pokemon, and as long as you play it right, it's one I would look into investing, just so long as you have the resources too. The Double Dust event is the only reason I was able to get the resources for this. So let me know what you guys think about this. Leave a like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next Go Battle League Struggles video. Till then, take care.